Hi everyone, Tim here. Welcome to the channel. So this one's going to go into the discussions group again. Again, on the channel I've got karate, I've got kobudo, and I've got discussions. And what I want to talk about today is a thought that I've been having that harkens back to when I was a student and studying differential calculus, integral calculus, and some of the other more advanced math classes as part of being a chemistry major. Most young students looked at the curriculum and saw the difference between what was needed for a science or engineering degree and what was needed to get a double degree in both science and mathematics, or engineering and mathematics. And at one point or another, it crossed their minds that with just a couple more classes, they could get a double degree. Most don't, and there's a reason why they don't. And during one of the classes, one of the graduate assistants, who was a young man who had his PhD in mathematics, he was from the Middle East, teaching the class, he said to a response to a question from one of the students on the homework, how many of the problems in the problem set in the homework should we do? And his answer was, do as many as you can, do as many as you can force yourself to do as many as you can stomach. And the implication was subtle, but the reality of it is the vast majority of the people in his classes that were taking maths understood the problems. They had the intellectual brain power to go through the algorithms to learn how to solve the various problems. They didn't love doing that. The few that loved doing that would do the entire set. And by doing the entire set, they got really good at solving problems and looking at different inputs and using the right algorithms or blending different algorithms together. And it occurs to me that the difference wasn't really cognitive power, but it was the attitude that people had in their brains when they looked at that problem set. It was either, oh look, this is going to be fun, I'm going to solve all these problems, or oh my, this is a chore and I have to try to stomach and get my way through it. And the graduate assistant, to his credit, understood that that was the reality of the situation, and he wanted to get the most out of it. So he would encourage people to do the best that they can, to do as many of those problems as they could, because that would make them much more well suited to learn the topic matter and get through the course. Right? And for the few that were really young aspiring mathematicians, they could really sink their teeth into it and find the love for it. And as martial arts instructors, I think that we should try to do the same when we approach kata, right? I love doing kata. Every time I do a kata, for me, it's a new experience. It's a unique experience. I've been doing some kata since 1985, right? Fukigata Ichi. But every time I do it, I can make it a new story, a new conversation, a new expression of that kata, a new introspection and self-discovery about how my body is working that day and how it's working, and even multiple times at the same day. And when I was a colored belt student coming up through, white, green, brown, that's the colors that we used with the 3 levels of each, I endeavored to try to do every kata that I knew 3 times a day. And I knew that there would be days that I'd be sick or too busy or deployed or whatever. So that meant that I was doing each kata at least 1,000 times a year outside of class on my own. And for me, that wasn't a chore. That for me was a experience. It was a introspection. It was a discovery. It was an opportunity to continue to grow. And lo and behold, I got pretty good at doing kata because I did it a lot. So if you can talk to your students and you can inspire in them a love for doing the kata, a love for working through it, a love for finding what it has to teach them, a love for seeing how it blends with their body into a unique expression of what that kata is as they tell the story behind the kata, I bet you that they're going to be very good martial artists. In the same way, those students in my class that loved doing the problem sets on the homework out of the textbook in advanced mathematics have gone on to do wonderful things in mathematics, and the rest of us might scratch our head every now and then and say, yeah, differential calculus, integral calculus, nonlinear algebra, and this sort of stuff. I sort of remember that and what some of the patterns are. If you're going to love it, you should really, really love it, and you'll get a lot out of it. Hopefully that's of some use to you. We've got the channel. I try to put things out 2 or 3 times a week at most, at least once a week. I'll throw some ideas up there as they cross my head. If they're of use to you, please come back and check out some of the older videos. We're approaching 100 of them in total. So have a look and tell me what you think. Thanks.